So I was browsing the job section on LinkedIn the other day, looking for 3D artist roles that are worldwide. And I came across this job post and I'm like, I recognize that name, Zack D Films. He's the YouTuber that has 22.6 million subscribers. And, he hasn't posted a long form video in a long time, but he's got quite a few views on this. But what he's more well known for is his shorts content. And if we sort by most popular, you'll see 246 million views, 209 million views, 159 million views. So this guy is getting heaps of views. He's printing on YouTube, right? And I'm sure you guys have seen his videos before. I've actually seen him probably more on TikTok, and I'm sure you guys recognize him. This guy is making hundreds of thousands, actually probably millions. With this view count, you would be making millions. So it just boggles my mind how you can be so successful and make so much money, and yet you can be such a bad person and exploit people on LinkedIn. There is so many red flags with this job post. And Zack D Films, if you're watching this, you should be ashamed of yourself. This is one of the worst posts I've ever seen on LinkedIn, and I'm going to prove it. So if we scroll down here, you'll see under job requirements, you must complete the test project for your application to be considered. Test project? Why would you need a test project? And there's a link below, and if you click on this link, it'll bring you to this page. And if we scroll down enough, you'll have here, complete the test project. And under pay, it says, this test is unpaid, but if approved, we'll begin working with you on paid projects. He doesn't have the money to pay people to start working for him. What a fucking joke. And then if you click on the link here, it takes you to the brief. And they're looking, look how many people are in this brief. What the hell? Anonymous golfer, anonymous squirrel, anonymous manatee, anonymous duck. We have 4 people. We have 4 people in this doing his unpaid test right now as we speak. What a joke. But he's looking for a 3D animator, right? And you have to make like a YouTube short that goes for 16 seconds. They're going to supply the audio file. And it has the script right here. And your job will be to make the visuals. So the line says, you must be rendered unconscious. And then under animation, good, someone left, thank God. Oh, actually, the grayed out one left? I don't know what that means. But anyway, under animation description, it has full body shot of a person sneaking up behind our subject and knocking them unconscious. Now, I don't specialize in animation. I'm more of like a generalist 3D modeler, but just from reading the stuff that you have to do, this isn't a half an hour job. Like this is going to take a couple of days to get something worthy of getting like a job like this. It's animation is not really, if you're not into animation, it's really complicated. Like the stuff, if you look at some of his past examples, which he linked, you got like the surgical knife, it's cutting skin, you got veins popping out and blood. There's VFX and animation all in one. There's a lot of work here. It's not something you can get done in just half an hour. But the thing that's even more crazy than this, you might think, okay, unpaid test, he's not the only person that's doing this. There's many other companies that are doing this, right? But the thing that's even more ridiculous, if we scroll up a little bit, this just boggles my fucking mind. This is like the worst part too. We have compensation. We offer a flat rate for your first project. After completing a few projects, we'll review your work and discuss potential rate adjustments based on performance, speed, and fit. So you might see this and go, wow, a pay rise after a few projects, like this guy's going above and beyond. But these are just words on a screen and probably not even written by him either. And it's a little misleading too, where it has here, discuss potential rate adjustments. Like I've heard this language too many times and it's almost always bullshit. And how do we know that Zack D Films is actually going to follow through with what he's saying, right? Does this give you confidence? Like we already know he's really secretive with this flat rate. Like what even is that? What's the flat rate amount? Is it decent or is it abysmal? And why do I have to do an unpaid test to potentially find that out? Like these are questions that need to be answered. And this is what makes this part so bad because it's all about context. Like individually, you might see this point as a plus, but the context here matters. And Zack D, it really makes you sound like you're an asshole that doesn't give a shit about people, right? Because like, how good can this point be if you have to do an unpaid test just to get some information? It's a joke if you ask me. You know what this screams to me? He's gonna get you in, you're gonna work on a few projects, you're gonna get paid your flat fee, and then Zack D is gonna message you being like, thank you, it was nice knowing you, and then you'll never hear from him again. And then he'll just repeat the same process. He'll go back to LinkedIn looking for more people, get more people to do this unpaid test and then hire someone and then pay them the bare minimum amount. And speaking of bare minimum, he's hiring from the Philippines. Oh, geez, I wonder why he's hiring from a third world country. Could it be because, the average salary in the US is $82,000 and the average salary is $4,470 in the Philippines? A bit suspicious there, Zack D, right? But and that's not the only thing too. Recruiters just have the biggest egos, and it's funny how they introduce themselves first, but not only that, is they introduce themselves as if it's an autobiography, where it's written from the third person, right? It has here, Zack D Films is a fast-growing 3D animation company producing viral short-form videos for an audience of 40 million plus. Like that fucking matters, right? We're known for engaging, visually compelling viral content, and we're looking for talented, contract 3D generalist animators to join our team. Notice how it's contract work as well. So that means no sick leave, no annual leave, no superannuation. So, you know, like you better hope that that pay rate, you better hope that the hourly takes that into consideration and it gets bumped up. Zack D Films, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. And you know, I hope you watch this. If you want to come on the show and give your perspective, I'd love to have you on just to shed some light on this. If you could change your act, if you could change your job posts and you could apologize for the exploitation that's going on here, I'll happily make a follow-up video, you know, saying that, you know, you've changed, you've become better, you've helped the industry in a better way, you know? And then if you look on the other side of the coin, I know some people might argue, oh, you know, at least Zack D Films is hiring people, you know, he's paying people, so he's helping the economy and he's giving the industry more money. My answer to that, it's all relative. Right? This guy is mega rich and mega successful, and he's got a massive platform. So even if he wasn't rich now, he could get rich really easily because he's got the platform for it. It's all relative. And for someone that's that size, to be doing the shady shit he's doing is just unacceptable. And even me, I'm not at that size and I don't have that platform. I wouldn't even do this even at my current size. I wouldn't even do this if I had 0 subscribers, you know, a 0 platform as well. It's absolutely disgraceful. And I'm also curious if you've worked for Zack D Films yourself. Please message me. I want to actually know what the working conditions are like. I'm really curious because if the job post has this many red flags, it's bad from the start. I assume that there's going to be problems during the middle and the end of your employment. I have no doubt in it, right? So I'd really love if you could come forward and message me, and then, you know, I could even help, you know, talk about that. And I would just love to know personally myself. And I'm promoted by hirer as well. So he's paying LinkedIn money, right, to advertise the job and market the job, but he doesn't want to pay the people that are going to be trialing, doing the test project for him. Like, all this could be solved if he just got rid of this test trial, right? It wouldn't be as bad. But because he has this unpaid test trial, it's such a bad look. If I had my way, guys, I wouldn't have this crap. I'd make unpaid tests illegal. If you were to make me the president or the prime minister, whatever country, you know, the world president, let's just say, if I was to become the person in power, the first thing on my agenda would be to ban and make it illegal because there's just too much exploitation going on. I know so many people, especially from my community, that have done these unpaid tests. And they've worked and worked and worked for days on days. They've submitted their thing. And even some of the cases, they've signed NDAs. So they can't use it for their portfolio. And the business retains ownership of that unpaid labor, right? It's happened multiple times in my community. And it's unfair. Like, Andrew's had to do it before. He's had to do an unpaid test, you know, and like it's so demoralizing because you waste so much time and you're up against how many competitors has he got? Over 100 people applied. You know, I don't have the actual number. It's probably in the thousands, you know, especially because he's promoted it. And responses managed off LinkedIn. So, you know, LinkedIn won't even have a record of the applications too. You got to apply externally too. But yeah, like anyway, Zack D Films. In short, you should be ashamed of yourself, but I hope you make the change. I hope you can change for us because, you know, everyone deserves a chance at redemption. Everyone. You know, I guess if you, you know, I guess if you, I don't know, murder people, I guess not. But still, you can redeem yourself. Thank you. And for the rest of you guys, please, I'd love a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And thank you. Got something to expose? Call the Spillato Bros.